Hi guys, and welcome to this week's collective reading. I love this Arise card. So beautiful. And I can already feel this strong connection between this Arise card and this Kindred Spirits card. So really beautiful. And this card is actually the very first card in this deck. And this is quite a large deck, especially for an oracle. It contains, I think, 88 cards, more than a tarot deck. So being the first card, I think, is quite significant. It's similar to the Fool card in the tarot. This is the kind of beginning point of starting something new and fresh. Arise is it's like waking up and starting a brand new day. At the bottom, it reads, "Know and flow as the love you are," and bliss. And to me, this is kind of the first realization of your potential and power, and that journey you are beginning, but even if you don't necessarily know where you are heading yet. But it's okay, because you're still going to start and take those first steps. It's almost like having a blind faith that goodness will follow. That's why it says, know and flow as the love you are. The flow is just going with it, trusting that it will carry you. And those first steps are always the hardest. Starting something new is always the hardest part, because it requires that courage to make a change. And that I see that connecting to this Prince of Wands card, which obviously we'll talk to when we get there. But this is a turning point into newness, and not just any newness. This is a greatness, right? With the dolphins and using the word bliss along with arise. This is the rising up to your inner child state of just being full of bliss and love and doing what you love and what comes easily to you, right? There may still be challenges associated with it, but these challenges can be met with enthusiasm because it's for something you truly enjoy doing. So you're in that flow state. Now moving into the Kindred Spirits card. And while the last few weeks we've talked quite a bit on community and working together, this card is talking specifically about kindred spirits in the etheric planes, right? That's why it says at the bottom, spirit companions, guides, and comfort. So actually, I'm going to talk about this reversed Prince of Wands card, because I think it will make more sense to talk about him first, and then I will come back to this card, or I may actually bounce back and forth between them. But this card actually came out recently, and I looked it up before filming. So it actually came out 3 readings back, and this was actually the reading that I felt really started this cycle we've been in recently, with kind of having new gifts come online and maybe new opportunities coming up. And these have all been centered around community in a way. And at the start of this energy stream, the Prince of Wands, he was upright, right? But today he's actually come in reversed. And with these 2 cards, I am getting this feeling of it's kind of like that point where you've been swept up by everything that's been going on around you, and now the excitement has kind of died down a bit, and we're feeling a bit more unsure. It's like when you have a really great idea one day, and the next day you are trying to figure out why you even thought it was a good idea, because today it sounds like the most stupid idea that you've ever heard. But yesterday, you were like so hopped up and excited and enthusiastic about the exact same idea. I'm sure you've all been there. I know I have many times. So when the Prince of Wands came out a few weeks back, and that was actually at the last full moon, if that helps you place the timing to maybe understand what's going on with you right now, if you can think back to what you were doing at that time. The energy when he came out originally, right? It was fiery and motivated. He was here to help us manifest. He was here to take our ideas and bring them to fruition. And now today, reversed, this is reflecting on the energy of becoming a bit impatient, right? So in this deck, the Prince is the Page. So this is actually the Page of Wands, if you are familiar with tarot. And pages are representative of a very young energy. So maybe they have really great ideas, but they don't have the years of experience and knowledge behind them. So they can be a lot more impatient when things are not happening as quickly as they would like to, right? Especially in the suit of Wands or fire, right? Because fire catches and spreads quickly, but just as quickly it can burn up its fuel and die out. So that's really the energy that this Prince represents. And this is usually due to poor planning, maybe even no planning, impatience, or even just the desire to move on to the next best thing, right? Because he represents such a young energy. So this would be seen, whatever it is you're dealing with right now, this would be seen as something you need to just push through, this impatient energy, I mean. Recognize your impatience in this situation. And if there is something new you've embarked on that isn't coming through as you'd envisioned, maybe also look back and be honest if you've really put in well thought out work into it, right? Because manifesting is so much more than just making a wish and then going about your day as per normal, right? Or it could even just be about needing to wait things out and being more realistic in the timeline that you've expected, that things won't just turn overnight. So with kindred spirits, now we're being reminded of all of the help that we have around us that we can tap into and connect with, right? In these moments when we are feeling frustrated or lonely, these times when we feel like, God, it's just not working out. Maybe I should just call it quits. This is a time that you should find quiet space and go within to connect so that you can receive guidance, right? And if this is something that you really should move on from, or are you being impatient, right? Let that guidance come through. Sit with yourself in silence. And what thoughts and ideas come to mind? These are your guides connecting with you. So really what I'm feeling is that this excitement that may have started a few weeks back, right, is starting to feel a bit stagnant and stuck to you. So this would be the time to not give up, because we are starting with this Arise card, right? And this is all about knowing your greatness and allowing yourself to be in this flow energy, right? And if you are having a hard time sitting in this energy right now, I strongly suggest some sort of practice that connects you to your angels and guides, as they definitely love to help connect us to our own uniqueness, right? And they will send you lots of signals to show you that they are with you if only you ask. So do ask, right? And that is this week's reading. As always, I hope it has been helpful, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye, guys.